A suspect arrested in connection with a consignment of Rhino Horn at OR Tambo International Airport has made his first appearance in the Kempton Park Magistrate's Court today. His arrest comes after a recent spike in wildlife crimes in the country. For more on this, we're joined on the line by Hawks' spokesperson, Lieutenant-Colonel Philani Nkwalase. Lieutenant-Colonel, thank you so much for your time and thank you for joining us. What further details can you tell us about this arrest?
Thank you, Ntokozo. Good evening to you and your viewers. The suspect appeared this morning and the matter was postponed by the Kempton Park Magistrate Court. It was postponed to the 31st of December and for formal bail application.
Now, I understand that there's been a recent spike in the spate of rhino poaching in the country. Talk to us about the connection between, finding rhino horn consignments of this size and the problem that we're seeing, the increasing problem we're seeing with rhino poaching in the country.
Well, there has been quite a number of successes that we've had, and this one is among many that we've had in the past. So we continue to make, arrests on these matters. And of course, seemingly there is a market that exists out there. And many a times the suspect would try their way to smuggle the rhino horns out of the country. In this instance, the 46-year-old Kunzwazu, who was arrested at Seraldin. He was arrested after the consignment was found at the airport, and the consignment was actually en route to China. It was found on Thursday, the 23rd of December, and it was due to travel on the 24th, on Friday, the 24th. But of course, this was uncovered during at the cargo section of the airport when the parcel was actually going through. The security there saw a suspicious parcel. And of course, they called in our counterparts, which is ourselves, as well the officials from the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment Department, and those were seized for further investigation to ascertain where exactly were those are coming from. Are they linked to any recent incident of the rhinos that happened in the country? And that investigation is ongoing. And of course, if there is any syndicate, because those parcels, the suspect was not arrested with the parcel. The parcel was found at the airport and the suspect was later arrested in Johannesburg. So obviously there seems to be a syndicate because the parcel was en route from the suspect to China. So all of that is a subject of our investigation, of course, to see if there is any link with with another syndicate elsewhere.
Yeah. It does seem that the arrest at the airport is something that is happening at the tail end of processes. Are there efforts underway to try and get a handle on rhino poaching at its inception before we get to areas of rhino horn consignments arriving at airports, getting ready to be smuggled out of the country to wherever? Essentially, what efforts are underway to get a handle on the crime itself before we find ourselves in the position where we're arresting people at airports?
Well, we do employ a multidisciplinary approach when it comes to resolving crime in the country, particularly when it comes to endangered species. We are not working alone. We are working with other partners. I've mentioned that the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment are actually hands-on on their front. There is a lot that is being done. And of course, we also come into the picture when it comes to, recovery of these items or the suspect being arrested. And of course, we work hand in glove with the security at the airport. So in our view, it is in some instances we make arrests when people are actually out there, attacking and killing the rhinos in collaboration with the Department of Environment. And of course, at the airport, we also work with the securities and ensure that we make this arrest if it so happens that people happen to slip in that process. So there are multidisciplinary approaches that are in place, and they seem to be working. In some instances, unfortunately, people are arrested at the airport, and many a times, of course, people are arrested whilst poaching.
Yeah. I understand that South Africa lost 250 rhinos to poaching in the first half of 2021. That's quite an astounding figure, given, the sort of precarious position that rhinos are currently in right now in terms of extinction levels. Was this because of lockdowns, this rise in rhino poaching?
Well, there could be quite a number of factors, and just to bring in another aspect, it is not only the rhinos. Rhino is but one of the other endangered species. Recently, you would know that there were other, lion bones that were found at some stage, and even a lion's head was found in the northwest, and where we've made arrests as well. So ours is to focus largely in the whole to protect all endangered species, and rhino is but one of those. And of course, on another front, you would know that we constantly, uncover quite a number of abalone factories in the country, and there's quite a lot of work that is done in that front as well. So I believe that we are indeed winning, and there's quite a number of factors, and one of the main issues is that there is a market that exists out there, and we are doing the best we can to ensure that we put up a great fight in eliminating that matter.
Colonel, you did mention that this is, of course, a part of interdepartmental efforts, a multidisciplinary approach, the Hawks working together with the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environmental Affairs. And obviously that is a welcome note, but I wonder if there aren't any international collaborations. You mentioned that this particular rhino horn consignment was expected to be smuggled out of South Africa into China, if I'm not mistaken. Are there conversations with Chinese authorities or any other countries who are known for receiving rhino horn consignments to sort of strike up some sort of partnership to get a handle on the issue?
Well, that is correct. That is what our preliminary investigation revealed to us on that particular matter. And of course, those partnerships exist, and we only did not mention in that instance because this incident is quite fresh and the suspect has only appeared for the first time today. That is also a subject of our investigation, and of course, when the need arises that we need to collaborate with our counterparts in other countries, there are platforms and avenues that are open for us to do so.
All right, Colonel, thank you so much. We'll leave it there. That is Hawks' spokesperson, Lieutenant-Colonel Philani Nkwalase, talking to us there about that rhino horn consignment that was discovered at OR Tambo International Airport. The suspect arrested, making his first court appearance at the Kempton Park, Magistrate's Court.